Good morning, everyone. Very happy to share today's reflection as we approach the end of Advent. And on this reflection, I'm going to base it on a Mexican tradition called Las Posadas. And I will talk about what it is, the theology behind it, and how does it relate to us in our last days of Advent. Las Posadas is a 9-day celebration celebrated chiefly in Mexico and by Mexican Americans in the Southwestern United States, beginning December 16 and ending December 24 on evenings, about 8 or 10 p.m. And it's 9 days, novena style of celebration. And the meaning behind it is that it's like the 9 months of pregnancy of Mary. So every day we'll meet and have this celebration. And the central part of this celebration is the litany called Pedir Posada, which in English means asking for a place to stay. So this is a song that's traditionally sung in the Posadas. And if you got a handout on the entrance, you were able to follow along a little bit. If not, you can get it at the end of Mass. So I brought with me the Spanish and the English side, and I'm just gonna go quickly through it. And the English translation, you see the way it is done is that all the people that attend the party, the event, the Posadas, divide into 2 parts. The ones that are inside, the ones that are outside. So what does it symbolize? The people who are outside symbolize Joseph and Mary asking for a place to stay. You know, as we know from the scripture, that when they arrive to Bethlehem, they're trying to find a place to stay, but there's so many people there from other places that they're having a hard time finding. So it's like a conversation between the people who are outside, representing Mary and Joseph, and the people inside, representing the innkeeper. So I'll go quickly through the word-by-word translation in English. So outside, Joseph asks, "In the name of heaven, I request you grant us shelter, given that she cannot walk, she, my beloved wife." So the innkeeper replies, "This is not an inn. Please continue ahead. I cannot open. You might be a robber." Outside, Joseph replies, "Do not be inhumane. Grant us charity, since the King of Heavens will prize you for that." Then inside, he replies, "You can already go away and do not bother, because if I get upset, I'll beat you up." Outside, Joseph insists, "We come exhausted from Nazareth. I am a carpenter named Joseph." And inside, still unconvinced, the host replies, "I don't care about your name. Let me go to sleep, because as I said, we shall not open." Outside, Joseph expects reasoning and says, "She asked you shelter, dear innkeeper, for just one night. She, the Queen of Heaven." So inside, almost convinced, the innkeeper says, "So if it's a queen who is asking for it, how is it that at night she travels so alone?" Then Joseph replies, "My wife is Mary. She's the heavenly queen, and she'll be the mother of the divine word." Inside, convinced, the host finally offers shelter and says, "Oh, are you Joseph? Is your wife Mary? Come in, pilgrims. I did not know you." Joseph gratefully says, "May God pay, sirs, your charity, and may heaven swamp you with happiness." And the host finally replies, "Joyful be the house that this day hosts the pure Virgin, the beautiful Mary." So after the inside and the outside sing, do we all rejoice singing together? "Come in, holy pilgrims, receive this corner, because even though the place is poor, I offer it to you from my heart. Let's sing with joy, everyone, as the thought that Jesus, Joseph, and Mary came today to honor us." So there's a very rich theological meaning behind this. What is Advent? As I have mentioned time and time again, Advent is a time of waiting. We are waiting for the Christmas. And we're waiting for Christmas, and Christmas is 2 days away already. So we have the last little drop of Advent. So today will be the 8th week on that novena of the Posadas. So what does it symbolize? Look at how insistent Joseph is in knocking on the door or asking for a place to stay. What does it symbolize? The constantly knocking of the Lord in our hearts. Through these days of Advent, through these weeks of Advent, what is the Lord doing? Knocking in our hearts. He wants to get in. What is He asking from us? Faith and conversion. John the Baptist continually insists on it. Conversion of heart. Change your ways. Faith and conversion. So this is a reflection on how have we spent these past few weeks of Advent. Have we spent them in careful reflection, deep prayer, a conversion of heart, an increase of faith? Or perhaps we spend our time thinking about Christmas and the presents, and just before we know it, wow, Advent's almost over, and perhaps we haven't done the spiritual work that we need to do. So this is like our last resort. This is our last chance to look into our lives. What do we need to change in our hearts in order to receive Joseph and Mary? What do we need to do in our hearts to make it a clean place to receive them, Joseph, Mary, and the baby Jesus? What do we need to do to make our heart a more loving place for them? And also, how do we receive our brothers and sisters in our hearts? How are we doing? What are we doing to make a difference in the world? You know, very often the spiritual masters will compare Advent with Lent. You know, Lent, a time of prayer, fasting, thanksgiving, the almsgiving. So this is also, they relate to Advent. Advent is very similar to Lent in those regards. Prayer, fasting, almsgiving, even though we're not used to it perhaps. But this is our time for those little 2 days of preparation. If we haven't done the preparation yet, this is our chance. This is the last effort that Joseph, Mary, and Jesus are doing in our hearts. Let me in. Let me in your Christmas. Let me be a central part of your Christmas. So as we prepare for this final few hours of Advent, may the Lord find a clean, a restful, a welcoming place in our hearts. And may our brothers and sisters find the same heart in us. Saint Anthony of Padua,